Welcome back to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games and practice game design. And we are back with more Alwa's Awakening here.
Alwa's Awakening and learning puzzle tricks for the mechanic we're about to get.
Boom, look at that, it blocks.
Hey! And it's teaching us that those can block projectiles and you can drag it.
I just tried so hard.
There's so many good tutorial points happening all at once. It's good. It's a good tutorial.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really...
Teabag it. All right.
That's part of the tutorial.
Yeah. Extra points. All right. Here we go. Whee.
Oh. So maybe this is...
Oh, maybe I just screwed myself.
No.
Nope. Well, that's, that's how you do it.
I mean, you might have been able to jump to safety.
No, I definitely could not have. No, I mean, like, I could have done that without getting hurt, but that blue orb is now...
I mean, I guess you only took 1 point of damage, so that's still pretty inconsequential. Yeah, I feel like they're not super punishing with their health system.
Yeah,
at least so
normally
far.
spikes just kill you.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's definitely the Mega Man way.
Gotta get the Mega Man weight.
But, like...
and he's gonna give me a heart. That's how it's gonna go.
For a game like this, do you think that the challenge would be... more engaging if things like spikes insta-killed you?
Absolutely. I mean...
You think so?
It's all because things like that, if they insta-kill you, they force the player to be a lot more careful, and they put a lot more on the line.
I mean, it definitely means you're more likely to make risky choices that cause you to take damage from things like the enemies.
That's what the buttons are all about.
It makes sense.
Good now.
Because, like...
Get over there.
It's a matter of prioritizing. So if, like, the spikes insta-kill you, but you have to platform around spikes when there's skeletons nearby, player's more likely to let the enemy damage them if it means that they don't get insta-dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that makes a lot of sense. So... Do you think that they're shooting themselves in the foot by not having spikes insta-kill you?
I don't think so, especially if they have spikes later on that can insta-kill you. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's fair. I feel like things like the lava definitely would be that. Because how do you, like, take damage and not have the character just become submerged in volcanic death?
Yeah.
If they just, like, take damage and flicker and just kind of, like, stand on the lava, it kind of looks bad.
I guess I could, like, do, like, a thing where you're, like, bounce
Mario style. Whoa! That's what they do, man.
They do.
He's all like, my butt.
I got a little overexcited there.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing I have against insta-death with spikes is that depending on the difficulty scale of your game, that can feel more punishing than challenging. But that also is solely dependent on the rest of the level design and how much you utilize them.
I think in general, I'm not like the hugest fan of insta-death things. I'm not like actually an advocate for it. Yeah, there we go. Insta-death things, like the one frustrating thing about them is that you feel like you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you're just dead, and you have to start over, and it's very frustrating.
Especially when you're playing a game that you're... Ooh, nicely done. But especially when you're playing a game that has like a lot of space in between respawn points. Dark Souls is a great example of that, which they're really the core insta-death in Dark Souls is like if you fall off a cliff or into a pit or something.
Oh, come on. Good.
But like it becomes very punishing because you lose a lot of space, a lot of time spent traveling and getting to that point. So far I feel like there's a decent amount of checkpoints, but I imagine later on there's going to be larger gaps in between checkpoints in which at that point it would start feeling a lot more punishing than it would otherwise. Ooh, you need to be able to make them blocks, fool.
Man.
So, I want to talk about color choices with the platforming elements in the background. So, the background, is it like a blue-green?
Yeah.
Like a turquoisey? Maybe it's more blue-green than turquoisey.
Oh, man. I have 1 health left. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
That button sensitivity. Get that going.
Oh, he's
That's
a cannon.
A trap.
That is so a trap.
I'm gonna hit him from behind though. It's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, I expected. I saw that helmet. I knew you had more than one hit in you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point, actually. It's a visual cue.
Yep. Character design. Hey, look what I just got.
You found the green gemstone. It glows with a mysterious light. You place it on your staff, and it fits perfectly.
Almost like it was meant to be.
I will become the ultimate god. You can now hold up and press attack to create gemstone blocks. Every time you create a block, it uses magic, so you'll have to wait for your magic meter to be refilled before you can create another block. Okay, so now we have a magic meter on the left of the zone.
And it's time-based?
So I wonder what the blue
See, there we go.
orbs
That's
are.
what I meant. Like, like having to return. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, can I drop this on him? Oh my god.
Probably.
Please tell me. Please tell me.
Maybe if you aimed better.
This is also kind of funny, though.
I mean, that's fair.
I gotta know.
And it seems like you can only have one out at a time. So as soon as you spawn another one, it's going to cause the first one to disappear. Which I think that's important, because otherwise you just can cheat your way through a lot of puzzles. Because he has a helmet. Should have known.
Should have known. Alright, there's this way. Actually. Good.
Oh, so anyway, so the background is kind of like this blue-green. The foreground has like a brownish, reddish kind of color. And those, the green in the background causes the brown-red to like pop forward. So I think that's a smart choice, because while they both have about the same level of like graphical detail, because they have like cracks and they've got highlights and lots of detail going on, it helps separates the platforming zone from the background environment. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think when you're using when you're trying to go for a game that has less color schemes available to it, that's incredibly important.
And it works really well too. I always worry that games that rely on like causing popping colors like that, or that rely on colors to pop like that, it often can feel kind of cluttered, like too much color going on, or just like lazy. But I think that they're not so saturated that it kind of works really well. It doesn't feel overwhelming. Like there's not so much color on screen that you're just like, what is even happening? Even the enemies tend to reflect the reddish tones, so they pop too. In the platforms. Yeah, no, there's a lot going on with that. Good color choices. I wouldn't be surprised if the palette changes from some zones. But I guess we'll see. Maybe.
So I was confused with the map for a second. Alright, good. Need a refill in health.
Well, now that you have the stone, you can return to the village.
Is that? No, I think I also have to beat the boss.
I mean, you could do that too.
But there's areas I can go to now that I couldn't before. Like a whole lot of areas.
Is this... Oh, never mind. But yeah.
Actually, you know, we're gonna go...
You're so indecisive.
I know. Well, it's because I was like, no, I don't need to go down that area. Well, that's exactly the point. You're right. I don't need to go down that area.
Yeah. That's what we've been saying this whole time.
It's not. I mean, I don't need to go down that area is what I'm saying, but there's probably things that I passed up on because I couldn't do them without Mr. Green Gemstone. Not this time.
So close.
Ooh, almost got hit twice.
I love that his, like, eye socket suddenly pops out an eye when he's dying. It's like, ooh, it's sunken so far.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see what those blue orb things do. If they're just like a currency.
So far. Yeah, I don't know. Because at first I thought that's what you used for your magic, but that does not seem to be the case.
I mean, if it was, then your magic would be so limited.
Yeah, and that would really take away from the game.
Especially, like, I mean, even if they were like, well, the blue orbs respawn once you leave an area and come back, but then that would just encourage the player to farm, and then it would stop being interesting. It would just become tedious. It'd be a whole lot of, like,
I think the
not
time
good
base,
with it.
or the time base on your magic refill is probably the smartest way around it.
Do you think it even needs the time system?
Crap.
I mean, like, it already kind of just disappears after you use it a second time. So they could have potentially just relied on that.
Is he holding a cannon, or is that just like...
It's totally a cannon.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned some things.
My thinking on the time system is that it's more for the combination of all of the other spells. Because right now it seems arbitrary, but I think it'll make sense once we get more abilities.
That's what I was gonna say. I think. Okay, we're going down. Oh, man,
not your day.
Not. I think that there's gonna be certain puzzles. Oh boy. I think there's gonna be certain puzzles later that requires a certain amount of timing, and I think that they're actually using that to their advantage. I
could see that. Okay. I don't think this is the way. I think you have to go to the left and up and over.
I don't think I could go up. I tried.
So on that little platform sticking up on the left, if you put a block on that, do you think you might be able to reach?
Oh, you know what? Maybe you're right.
I mean, like, it's sort of a long shot, but it might be worth seeing. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Not setting up the chairs next time.
No chairs. Yeah, that's how it's done. Break the physics, or lack thereof. Well, I guess there's still technically some physics, but you know what I mean.
Oh boy.
Well, dead. Wow, what a way to die.
Wow.
You are now part of the astral plane.
I was about to say, do not die in this world. Nobody will remember you.
Or maybe that's like you're returning to the bonfire.
Ah.
You're like, what's it called? Breaking down into particles and teleporting. Get a little sci-fi in here.
Wow.
So how would you talk about the game feel from what you've experienced so far?
So, actually, I did want to bring that up too, especially with the jumping. So, there's a lot of take backsies. The game is slow moving, and it allows you to correct or make corrections from your mistakes. So, like for instance,
like if you jump,
if you normally jump, like if I were to run this way and jump forward, like a lot of platforming games, you're committed. That's that.
They're just like,
you're going
this is the direction you're going.
You're going this direction. And
it has games, logical sense to it too,
because this isn't possible. But
for now,
right? But like, yeah, games like Mega Man and stuff like that, they would allow you to control yourself in air a little bit, but only just enough. In fact, usually when you try to fix that, like overcorrect, and like you'd be like, oh wait, no, I didn't mean that, you'd end up screwing yourself over more. So it forced you to commit to your actions.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with that.
Boom.
I mean, it's so weird too that games that don't let you control things mid-flight, they tend to feel very cumbersome, in my opinion, and a lot more challenging. Just, you have to have a blue? Oh no, never mind.
No, I am purple, and it was purple. So.
Oh really? I thought it was blue.
Yeah.
But, can't see red, so can't see purple, and...
it's because you're weak. Oh, hey,
my eyes are weak.
Yeah, alright. I don't know why I wanted to take the block with me anyway.
But yeah, no, I always thought that was interesting about games that force you to commit to your jumps specifically. Because you'd think that something that mimics real life closer should make sense. Maybe it's just like what we as gamers have been trained to understand.
Yeah, it's very possible that it's just like part of that what was I gonna say, like game logic nomenclature, like that is what you're.
But at the same time,
what you're used to. That's how games work.
You could argue that maybe being able to move while jumping became a thing because it felt better.
Oh, and absolutely, and this goes back to your original question. You're like, how does the game feel? Like I'm allowed to make up for, or like overcorrect, and I think that's. What is the point of having that skeleton down there?
Extra punishment? Maybe you have a spell later on that like can turn guys into like skeletons into mobile platforms?
Maybe.
I mean, that's a hunch, if only because that ladder was to get up to that platform. So if you were in this room and you moved left, you would have to run across the spikes in order to get over there. So maybe the skeleton is like, if you can turn him into a platform, you would ride him over to the ladder to get up and over to the other platforms. That's my thinking. Oh,
I think I should have not pushed that this way. Yeah. It's a trap.
oh, you're right. Clever. I mean, probably.
No, because I was like, maybe if I make a block behind it, I can...
But, yeah, now you have
motherfucker.
this problem.
No, I can fix that. That I can fix. All right. I see. It's just...
Here's where the real puzzles start coming into play.
Yep. And it's a good thing that it's I can once again take back keys. I'm able to exit the room, fix the problem as it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's super important. I mean, otherwise it would. Imagine a game like this where there were no take backsies
Ugh.
with like puzzle goof ups like that.
You okay there, buddy? Damn.
Sorry, it's our taco dinner coming back. But then like
Oh,
you make
look at
one, hey, nice. You make one mistake and suddenly you have to restart the entire game. Like how cruel of a game would that be?
Yes.
That'd be the Dark
Oh, boy.
Souls of puzzle games, except worse. 'Cause it'd be punishing and not rewarding. Because Dark Souls is rewarding. It's
It really
it's
there's
incredibly difficult, but you can keep trying, and when you do it, you're like, I did it. I'm awesome. Same reason I like horror games. Because after you beat a horror game, you're just like, I did it.
You feel
I
very
survived.
satisfied.
I like emotionally survived that.
Nice animation there. Watch. Like, okay, so it's right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
They thought about that. Cool.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah,
That
actually,
is satisfying.
now that you mention it, I feel like the animation does have more frames than you probably would get out of a classic game like this if it were made during like NES or Super Nintendo. Well, maybe it would be on par with Super Nintendo. Depending, I guess, on like what games you're comparing it to, because there were definitely a lot of Super Nintendo games that
did not make up or did not live up to the expectations of the system was capable of.
yeah.
Have you seen any blue orbs lying around? They're very powerful, and if you see any, you should try to collect them. The more you have, the more powerful you become when fighting the protectors. Interesting. There's also a treasure hidden somewhere in this dungeon. You should really try to find it before you leave. I'm guessing it was down there, but I can't do the thing. Can't get there. Oh?
Central Alwa.
Alright, this is my... Oh, wait,
But
why
the
did I...
Orby.
No, I don't need that. This is very Metroidvania right here. Feel like you walk into... Oh, here's this new area. Look at this really cool area. You're
Too
gonna
bad you
have
can't do anything
Can't
here.
do anything. You're just gonna have to come back later.
Yeah, that is Super Metroidvania. It's like sneak peek, but it's more tantalizing than it is useful.
Yeah.
But showing you that little glimpse and not letting you do anything is a really good way to make you remember it.
Here we
Ooh.
go. There we go. How are we doing on
Yeah,
time?
and you know it's a boss battle. A minute.
Okay.
Enough time for you to die once.
Yep, sounds good.
How dare you enter these chambers? Why have you come to this land to destroy us? We have done nothing to you.
Oh boy.
He's a vicious
He's a
keeper.
vicious keeper. Glad you saw that too.
You should know, Vicar, your divine honor.
Or you should show, and no, hands, I'm not good at reading.
You should show Vicar your divine honor and respect. He is the only true deity. But enough talk. Have at you!
Ugh.
Ooh, the little Mega Man meter. Ooh, he turned into a spider. Would you look at that?
Okay. Can't hurt the spiders. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, okay. Alright. Crap.
Everything's
Alright,
fine.
So if I just stay right here, I'm basically safe.
But
So it's all about when I try to actually attack him. That's...
yeah, the trick is to get to him Yeah, right after that firebolt.
All right. Okay. That's cool. It gives me time to actually like sit there and watch the boss, see how he functions.
Yeah, as far as first bosses go, I feel like this is a really good, like, I don't know, difficulty scale kind of boss. Like, he's not super hard. He's got a very short looping pattern. And who knows, maybe he'll have like a second form after you deal half damage.
They're utilizing the block mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, oh. Now they definitely are. Because before you could kind of duck under the other one, couldn't you?
When I got hurt, it got destroyed.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it just destroyed.
Good to know. Shit. Yeah, wait.
Everything's fine.
Oh.
Well, you were saying it before. Got time to die once. Death count. Oh.
Oh, well, at least it counts up and not down. It's like, you're out of continues. You're SOL.
That would be going real old school.
That'd be cruel. That's like arcade days. It's like, there's still a time and a place for those, I think, but would not be appropriate for Alwa, I think.
All right, cool. Well,
yeah, we can call it here.
we'll call it here and
Beat the boss.
Kill him in the next episode. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's talk about the green gem or the green blocks. How do you feel like they utilize this mechanic, and what challenges would you make to take advantage of such power?
Such power.
It is such power. We're in a platforming game, and it gave me the ability to create platforms.
It is a pretty
awesome.
big deal. And that's like the base mechanic.
Yeah.
We're going to get more crazy stuff from here.
More crazy stuff from here.
More crazy stuff. More stuff. More GDPG.
Good night.
Have at you.
I've had you.